the way.
We're wanted men. I have spoken.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Jason.
What kind of bagel likes to travel?
I don't know.
Plain bagel.
Oh,
What do you call a broken can opener?
a knife?
A can't opener.
Oh,
One more.
one more?
Yeah, I told my wife I could make a car out of spaghetti. You should have seen her face as I drove pasta.
Oh, Jason got me on the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 178 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. Jason's bringing it early with the dad jokes. I'm Glenn. Jason, how are you today? It's been a long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a couple hours. Couple
Yeah.
long, depressing hours.
Yes, I was like, oh no, Jason. How you
Yeah,
been?
good. Can't complain. It's been busy. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded. Do I sound okay? It's been.
Yeah,
Am I on mic? I don't. Am I doing this right?
I hope so. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like when we take like a little bit of a break and we come back to it, and it's like, how are we doing this right? What are we doing? Is everything how you pray that everything works when you crank it back up?
How was Chewbacca Con?
You mean Chewbacchus? Crew
Yes.
Chewbacchus?
Chewbacca Fest.
Yes, it was great. Yeah, it was the same as it always was. It was cold though, dude. It was in the 30s by the time the parade was over. So my little toesies were really, really cold. But I had liquid courage. Well, I didn't drink too much. I drank a lot during the day, but not during the parade because we had to wake up early and come home on Sunday. Not wake up early, but we were driving back on Sunday, so I had to like prepare myself. But no, dude, it was great. We got a bunch of stuff. It basically, man, when it all comes down to it, it's a big cosplay and swag swap
Yes.
mixed in with the Mardi Gras parade.
Right.
So we did the typical, shots for throws where we went and this time I learned from the last time we did this because we just did a hodgepodge of stuff. And this time I just did fireball because when you do a hodgepodge of stuff, people start digging through it. And when you only have one liquor, they either say yes or no. So we did that and got a bunch of pretty quality throws. My wife, they do these things called they do bandoliers, and then people will take Jenga blocks and decorate them. So if they see somebody with the bandolier, they'll put it on there so you look
Yeah.
like Chewbacca at the end of the night. And my wife didn't make one, but she had a Chewbacca, the seatbelt cover, so you look like a bandolier when you were
Mhm.
walking by. And she got like 15 people just stop and go, here's a band, here you go for your
Okay.
bandolier.
Seems like that's the way to go.
It is. So a sign with shots for throws, a bandolier, and you start yelling stuff. People start quoting stuff from whatever movie they're representing. Cause I think there was 150 crews, sub crews, and it was about a 2-hour parade, which is insane. Because it's like the start of the parade is done while the parade is still going. It's that big of a parade. But yeah, I got a pool noodle as a lightsaber pool
Lightsaber.
noodle,
Very cool.
and I got dodgeball stuff, and there was like a Rocky Horror crew that gave me some stuff.
You're all about that one.
Yes, sir. Rocky Horror, and then there's some Wampas that are there. I got a coaster from the 610 Wampas.
What does that mean?
They're Wampas. They're They're a
What's the
group.
610 Wampas?
Yeah, 610. They're a group called the 610 Stompers, which it's a bunch of old white guys that do stomps, I guess. And they for this parade they call themselves the Wampas.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a New Orleans thing. I don't understand it, but they have fun.
Well,
And yeah, I got a koozie, and then yeah, it was cool because the place we stay is everybody keeps repeating. So
oh,
it becomes, you become a family, you become friends,
so you see
and
Tanya and Ronnie again, and you see
yeah,
Ted and Luis. They check in.
yeah, it's like our own little clique, our own little club uh that show up. And then my goddaughter and her husband and one of my other cousins came up with us. They met us in New Orleans on Saturday, and the girls went to a drag brunch, and me and her husband, my godchild's husband, went to a brewery and had some beers with king cakes.
You had a beer?
I had a beer. Could you imagine
That's
that?
no. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a crazy experience for you.
I know. I have no clue what you're talking about. You're missing the visual gag, Jason.
Sorry.
Me drinking beer
Sorry, I'm doing 12 things at once.
as I drink a beer. Yeah, I need to cut out on beer because I'm like, yeah, stuff's not fitting right anymore.
Oh.
So I need to try to start losing some weight or something. But
You don't need to start trying. No, try not. Do or
dude,
do not.
yeah.
Never
Which
do
really
try.
yeah, which really stinks when I brought back 2 cases of beer with me from New Orleans. So yeah, that may be a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just I try, dude. I try.
Did you book for next year too?
Yes, we basically, it's when we leave, they're like, you're coming back. We're like, yes. So we are, it's under, they don't really announce the date, but they know when the date's announced, we're going to book.
Okay.
And next year is kind of up in the air a little bit because the weekend that they would traditionally have Chewbacchus is the same weekend as the Super Bowl, which is in New Orleans.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
So they moved it a week early, which still to me would be crazy to be in the city a week before the Super Bowl.
The week before, it really starts ramping up days before. So the week before, people aren't really in town yet.
But you'd get to see all the preparations and stuff.
Yeah, it's a circus that follows
Yeah.
that Super Bowl around.
Yeah. But I mean, we've been in Atlanta. We've had it here in Atlanta, and it wasn't too bad. So, and it's a different side of town from where we are. Because that's near the Superdome and stuff, and where we stay on the opposite side of town. Where
Is
like, yeah, go ahead.
is it in? It's in the Superdome, right?
Correct.
Then okay, you said it's
Yeah.
near the Superdome. I'm like, wait, it's got to be in
It's
the
in the
Superdome.
Superdome. Sorry.
All right.
We don't stay near the Superdome. So, but no, dude, Chewbacca, and it kind of, no, Chewbacca was great. It was cold. It's just a tradition, man. I don't know how to explain it. It's something, if um, Mardi Gras, I mean, it's not as big as a normal Mardi. It's long, but it's a walking parade versus a float parade. There are some floats in it. So when you think of Mardi Gras, you see the big floats and you see like the double-decker floats, the stuff, you see the big parades on TV. And this parade's nothing like that. It's a lot more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sci-fi related. So there's 1,000 people in sci-fi cosplay, which is awesome to see.
Very cool. Sounds
Yeah.
like a good time.
Yeah, you should come one year.
It was cold here.
Yeah, dude.
We got 30s. It was like down to, you had 30s in Louisiana. We had like 17 degrees.
Yeah, my grandma called me on Wednesday. We were leaving Tuesday morning, and she called me like Monday. Are you leaving? Why? Well, oh my God, it's gonna be so cold. And I'm like, it's gonna be raining. I'm like, no, it's not gonna be cold enough to rain. Yes, it'll be rainy and nasty, and cold, but nothing meshes,
Yeah.
If it would have been about 10 degrees colder, it would have been bad. But because there was ice and stuff on the car as we're driving. The windshield didn't ice up, but the windshield wipers were icing up. The side of my tire had ice on it when we stopped for breakfast. And the handles were iced over. But the roads were fine. It was worse getting out of Atlanta than it was anything else because we had like some heavy, heavy rains that morning
Oh,
on Tuesday morning. But we leave at like 4 in the morning when we go somewhere.
yeah, I do that too.
So you
I
have
like
more
to,
time when you get there.
well, I like to get it over with too.
Yeah, dude. Driving home always sucks because you don't leave till like 11 and then you lose
That's
an hour.
that's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Did
You
you
know,
pick anything up?
yeah, I kind of did. I picked up the Hasbro did a new mold of Sabine, or they released some 5 points of articulation figures, like the little kid figures.
Oh, what are they called? The Epic something?
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
Hasbro
I didn't, huh?
Hasbro hasn't even officially announced those yet.
But they were at Walmart, so I picked up
Nice.
Sabine. It's very kin to the retro line, but a little bit more detailed.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I don't want to.
Yeah, fine. Jordan made
No,
fun of us for talking over each other this morning.
that's I'm gonna talk over him then. Um, no, I think it's like somewhere in between the retro collection and the vintage collection. Like it's got some more detail than the retro, but it's not as detailed as the vintage collection, if that makes sense.
Right. I think it for what it is, it's a really good sculpt of Sabine. I think the price point may be a little high because this one was like $15 because she does come with the lightsaber. She comes with a backpack, which is way over, the scale is way off, and then she comes with a vibroblade gauntlet and then an energy shield, and all of the three pieces are just way out scaled. The
Mm.
energy gauntlet, I mean the gauntlet and the backpack and the energy shield. But they're for kids, so I guess maybe they had to do it.
Yeah, exaggerated on purpose, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean it's not bad, but I was kind of looking at the TVC release of Sabine and I'm like, would they have just copied this backpack or jetpack for the TVC? And I mean it's way too big. Because it takes up half her back, and that's not the way that Sabine's backpack really is. If you can see it on TV,
That's weird.
yeah, it's not that big of a backpack,
No.
but it looks. I mean, all in all, it's a great. I mean, I'm just happy to have these figures because you never got these figures. We never really got these figures, and it's a good paint scheme on Sabine. I love this paint scheme. The paint jobs on
Cool.
this one.
I'm
And
glad you enjoy
then
it.
yes, and then I also picked up a little plush, a little like 6-inch plush of Sabine without the helmet on.
Yeah.
And then do you want to talk about what I got today?
Yeah, let's talk about it's in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, go ahead.
I got a N1 Starfighter, TVC N1 Starfighter today.
Oh, did you? How much
Yeah,
was that?
he had it for $80.
Oh, wow. Was it
Yeah.
open or
No, it
sealed?
was sealed.
Nice. That's a
Yeah.
steal.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty happy with it. Well, Amazon I think has it for like 110 right now, which is still I think it's a decent deal. I opened it up after dinner. We were eating dinner and I opened it before dinner, and then by the time I was like halfway open it, Mandy had served. We got Chinese food tonight, and by the time I was getting into it and playing with it, Mandy had plated dinner, and so I put it to the side and then after dinner I try to put it together. You didn't open yours, did you?
No, no.
Okay. There on the engines, there's like an A or a B. I thought there were two covers on the engines, but there's only one cover.
Yeah.
And it kind of messed me up because it doesn't, TVC directions are really bad because they're all pictures. There are no words.
So they can use it in multiple countries.
Yeah. That's what Mandy was like, why wouldn't you print up words? I'm like, because it's cheaper.
Like IKEA.
Yeah. So I thought I had lost a piece, but then when you look at the instructions, one piece of it is in color and the other one is kind of shaded out. I'm like, oh, you only get one.
Mm.
Just like the R2, R5 dome.
Mm.
Freaking Hasbro.
Freaking Hasbro.
Did you pick up anything? It's been a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
I got tons of stuff.
Yeah.
I've been a busy couple of weeks. I've been bored, so I've just been buying stuff, I guess.
Oh, that's dude, buying stuff when you're bored or drunk is not fun. It's not.
No,
It's a good way to get in trouble. How's that?
I didn't get in trouble. Like everything I did was deals, for the lack of a better term. Like I
Nice.
went up to that all good retro shop that's closing,
Hmm.
and I was gonna go buy the TIE Interceptor, but those boxes were pretty beat up. And I'm like, if I'm gonna buy a boxed item, like I don't want it to be that beat up. So I got the Blockade Runner instead, which I didn't have.
Nice.
So now I do. So I think I'm only missing like 2 or 3 vehicles from Action Fleet from that initial run, and I'm caught up. I found that battle pack, that Coruscant battle pack Micro Galaxy Squadron.
Mhm. Which
Remember,
one is that?
it was a $60 one with like Anakin and Obi-Wan Starfighter and then a couple Vulture droids.
Yes.
And it was $60, and then it dropped to $15.
Wow.
And I started hitting up all of the targets in our area, and I couldn't find it. I was getting so frustrated. And then my wife's like, let's go to Target. So we went to Woodstock Target, and we're just walking around, and I let me just check the toy aisle. And there it was on clearance for $15. I'm like, yes, please.
Damn. I've seen the Imperial shuttle. I've seen the tag, but I haven't seen the ship for $9 at Walmart yet. They still have them at Target.
I have one for you. I can give it to you.
Okay.
We made that trade. You gave me those couple of the smaller vehicles, so I have a
Well, then
Imperial
fine.
shuttle. I'll give it to you.
I will take you up on that trade.
Um, and then while I was at Target, they also had the Series 4 blind packs, but they also had the box with the topper on it.
Yeah.
And the topper is really tough to come across. So I just
Really?
yeah, you don't find those that often. Either like the employees just throw them out, or they just
People
pop
like,
up the box, and
or people like you take them?
or people like me take them. But I took the whole thing. So I just took out all of the little blind packs. I bought 2, which I mean, I had them already, so whatever. But yeah, so I have the box now because I've been collecting those.
They weren't, one of them wasn't the Sky Biker Scout.
No, I would have
Okay.
got that for you.
Yeah, right.
Um, then GameStop dropped the Funko Jabba the Hutt and Salacious Crumb to $4. This thing was like originally 60, $70.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, this has to be a mistake. So I ordered 2 just to justify the shipping. And 2 came in. So I guess maybe one of them will be used at Rogue Fun for that thing we haven't announced yet. And then the
Very
other one
cool.
is mine. It's got Salacious Crumb on it.
No, you got to get that little bastard, don't you?
Yeah. And
And it's
then
a Funko, so you need to. Oh, I also, for speaking of Funko, I bought the Sabine
oh, that's
boxed
right.
lunch exclusive. Freaking Funko. Thank you.
Where did you get it? You went to Box Lunch at the mall?
Yeah, we were out and about a couple of weeks ago, and it was Tuesday or was Saturday, Sunday or something. We were out and about, and we went to Second Chance and talked to them for a minute. And I'm like, hey, let's go to Boxed Lunch, and picked up the Funko.
Speaking of Second Chance, I stopped in there
Yeah,
because I'm looking for something else for Rogue Fun. And they have a whole bunch of $5 bins now.
nice.
So I got a Labria, which is the devil looking guy from the cantina, opened. So I got him now. I don't
Yeah.
like he can't stand on his own. I just opened it a few seconds ago,
Mhm.
and he's limited articulation like 5 points. But the way they put the feet, like the foot is off angle, so you have to kick that leg way back, and then it doesn't stand right. And I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's how I feel about this Sabine for little kids. It's like anytime my desk moves, she falls over.
Yeah. So I picked that up, and then today at the toy show, you had gone through that box of vintage Kenner stuff, and you found that General Lando for $15.
That was the steal of the show.
And I'm like, that's not going back in that box. That's coming home with me.
Even with the repro pink cape and blaster.
Yeah, it
Did,
was like a salmon colored cape.
yeah, did you try the float test on that blaster? I mean, I'm like
No.
99% sure it's fake, but
Yeah, it looks too nice and too new to be Kenner. It's too detailed, but who knows?
right.
I
That
gotta
was
go.
Go ahead.
I was going to go through a website and like the Imperial Gunnery and try to figure out to make sure if it's fake or not.
Yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking because Kelly was with us and his eyes are, he knows this stuff because he works at Second Chance and that's his job. And he was just picking everything out of that box. Like, this is repro, that's repro. I picked you out of Leia and you were like, that's a repro weapon. I'm like, how do you know? I didn't even see a weapon in there. And well, you're like, it's gray. I'm like, well, yeah, there you go. So that was kind of heartbreaking to see that many figures with reproduction accessories, but he had good prices on all of them. Like he had what is it, EV9? Is it an EV
EV99, yeah.
for like 120? I mean, granted, the arm's broken,
Or
but
is it 88? The brown one.
yeah, the torture droid. Don't
Yeah.
wreck. Don't wreck while you're yelling at us.
Yeah. Drive safe.
Drive safe. But yeah, that's like double the price. I don't know. What did he have on that? Did you see the Animan?
Man was 225.
If that was a real, yeah, that's about right. If that staff was real.
Yeah. I'm checking up EV99 just to
Looking up
see.
right
Yes, it is EV99. We're good.
now. All right, sweet.
Moving on. I also picked up, they had a Antok Merrick Black series for $10.
Mhm.
And I want to make Boshek for my cantina, which is like 99% done at this point. There's just a small couple things I got to work on, but I'm pretty happy. So I'm just adding figures now. I had a Bosk because Bosk is actually the proper suit for Boshek, but they upscaled Bosk. So he's huge. And so if I were to put hands, like Antok Merrick's hands and legs onto this thing, it'd just be way disproportionate.
Mhm.
So I ended up sculpting some added detail to Antok Merrick. So we'll see how that turns out once I paint it. I'm hoping my paint will cover my sculpting flaws because it's all black anyway, so it's not going to be picking up a lot of detail.
Yeah. They were getting some miles out of that Bosk outfit, weren't they?
Yeah. They did that a lot though.
Yeah.
I mean, look at IG-88. His head was used as part of the dispensary at the cantina.
No, we don't need this droid anymore. Take them apart and use them as parts.
It's like an airplane part too.
Yeah.
There's a place out in Vegas that people go to for props, to make props for movies and stuff.
Mhm.
And I know they've got like 4 of those sitting out there. That part for the airplane that they use for IG-88 and IG-11's head. And then as I was walking out of the toy show today, I looked down and some lady has a whole box of Funko head Pez dispensers.
Mhm.
They didn't have to dig far to find Salacious Crumb there. I'm like, how much is he? $5. Okay, I'll get him.
All right.
So I got that and another piece, which I'll unveil at Rogue Fun.
That's how they get you, man. Those Funko people, they're just like, it's $5. And you're like,
Yeah, but it's not like all of them. It's just the one. She's like, here's a Jabba, here's a Gamorrean guard. I'm like, I'm good.
I just need my furry monkey.
I just need my evil Kermit.
So what you while we're like talking about the show, how'd you feel about it? I mean, it was put on by our buddy Chris Hamer, who does Legion Con in Smyrna, and this was sort of a smaller one. I think he just kind of did it to do it and to see what happens. So it was about half the size of the Legion Con in Smyrna, but it was still at an American Legion, which I enjoy because there's a bar, believe it or not, and there's food and stuff there, so you could spend all day there and not really be bored. And with us having a club table, we had a lot more interaction this year, which was nice.
Yeah. I thought it was a cool show. Nice small little venue. I mean, I got some killer deals. It was popular.
Yeah.
There was some time difference between Facebook and some flyer or something like that. So I showed up at 10:30 thinking I was 30 minutes early, and it turns up I was 30 minutes late because the thing was packed and there's people in there already. People were already grabbing things and walking out the door, buying things and walking out the door. So I was kind of like, what's going on? I thought I was early and now I'm late, which is like my worst nightmare.
You were fine though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think they had like 250 people, they said, through the door, which for a rainy, crappy Saturday on a show that I mean, I thought it was okay advertised, but a first time show, it was it
Pretty
was a
good.
fun show. Yeah, it was a good show. We had our buddy Nerd Matt from Nerd U was there, so it's always
Oh, was
fun
he?
seeing him. Yeah,
I
you missed
I
him?
missed him. Yeah.
He was kind of in the back corner. He was right next to Hamer's booth in the back corner.
I didn't see him.
Oh.
Sorry, Matt.
So he was there. It's always good seeing him. Chris, like I said, Chris Hamer was there. Jason from Atlanta Vintage Toys was there.
Jordan.
Steve, who's on every show in Atlanta, was there. He always has good deals on modern stuff, which I look at some of the deals he gets. I don't know how he gets them. Some of them, some stuff he gets is retail, and another stuff he's like selling for like discount prices. But
Yeah.
who else was there? They had some artist was there. They had one guy that did like a bunch of like comic art, not comic art, but had cut out stuff and was pasting it on wood or something. And I kept looking at his stuff and I'm like, I wanted to buy something from him because I thought it looked really cool, but I didn't connect with any of the pieces.
Mm.
A lot of comic. Go ahead.
No, sorry. We're talking over each other.
Yeah. Jordan, we're doing it again.
We're doing it, Jordan. We're doing it.
I was
gonna say. What are you gonna say?
Yep.
You go.
Comic.
Okay, I'll go.
Book.
You go.
Vendors. And this guy there was recording a pod. There was a lot, dude. I'm surprised at the amount of content.
There's the guy recording a podcast?
No, he was recording Jordan was recording for his feed. But there were a lot of people like going live. All of a sudden you hear like, "Hey guys, I'm here at Legion Con. We're live on Facebook." But that helps get people through the door. But Jordan was recording, and he's outside recording by himself. And I start talking to him, and he made fun of us talking over each other on the podcast.
It happens. I mean, it's Zoom. How many times have you been on a Zoom call and people start talking? No, I'm sorry, you go. No, you go.
Yeah, there's that delay. There's a delay, but I never hear it, or no, I don't feel it.
A good show.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. No complaints from me. Food was good.
No complaints from me either. It was a good show, worth the time and effort. So I thought maybe it was replacing his other show.
No, it's, I think, in conjunction. I don't know if he's going to do it again. It's a good spot for him because it's less than a mile from his shop. So he can just send people to the shop. And we went by his shop afterwards. I picked up a piece of chopper art, like a really long, skinny piece of chopper art. And his wife said that they were steady all day from people. Because every time somebody was at the show, he'd be like, "Here, I got a comic book shop a mile down the road. Come check us out." So I think he was doing a lot of business. He had messaged me a couple of weeks ago and was like, "Dude, I really love this," because we do a step and repeat, which is a card back, and we've been getting a lot of miles out of that. It gets a lot of attention, but he's like, "Dude, I love that, but can you bring a little bit more, please?" And I didn't want to bring figures because I'm like, there's a ton of figures inside, and I didn't want to take away from vendors. So I decided I took a page out of our book from our booth from Celebration in 22 and got like a clear tablecloth and put a bunch of swag patches and stuff underneath it. And dude, it got a lot of attention. I was really surprised how good it did.
Yeah.
You did have the little kid that would kind of try to, pick up the tablecloth. They're like, "I want what's underneath here." It's like, dude, you can't have that. So I think we're going to start doing that. It makes a nice little display and gets people handed out a lot, people interested in the club. We handed out a lot of swag for the club, handed out stickers for the podcast. So if you're listening and you saw us at the show, hi, thanks for joining us.
Hello, I'm Jason. This is Glenn. We like to talk over each other.
Damn it, Stuart.
I have some news if you want to go over that.
Oh, we've got a bunch of news.
There's a bunch of news.
Some sauciness to talk about.
Tony was joking that Dark Jason's going to come out.
Yes, we talked a little bit about this on the this afternoon, but yeah, I want to get into it.
Well, first, the just out of nowhere, the trailer for Bad Batch season 3, the final season, dropped, which was pretty cool. Um, I don't want a lot of standalone mission of the week episodes. Everything you are doing, Hunter and crew, should be finding Omega. You
It
shouldn't be
seems
running smuggled missions or whatever.
it seems like that's what they're gonna do, but
I hope
I've
so.
only huh?
I hope so.
I've only watched it once. I thought the cameos were really good, so it's building up to being a pretty epic season. If
Yep.
the cameos they showed will be good, will hold up.
Yeah, Asajj Ventress shows up in the end in white hair and a yellow lightsaber. Um, Ahmed Best today tweeted something, but then he hashtag Bad Batch in it.
Huh.
I wonder if Jar Jar or his Jedi character are going to appear in this season.
Be interesting.
Misa Wanda.
Hello, Tech.
Hello. Okay day.
You are here to find the Mega.
What are you doing?
Big
Anyways.
boss.
Oh, big boss, mighty guy. Um, so yeah, a lot of things happen in Hasbro news.
What?
Yeah,
No.
the first thing that happened was that Steve Evans was brought back to the line. Steve was he was a designer back during the original run of the vintage collection. He was pulled off to go over to the Marvel brand, and now he's back to lead the design and development for collector products for both Star Wars and Marvel. Steve is not only a talented designer, but if you follow him on Instagram, he's also a collector. He was also part of the team that launched the sail barge day one when this thing was announced. He made a checklist for all of the retro collection figures so far, and he made it look like the old card back for Return of the Jedi with the mustard looking cloth thing. And I think that's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, it was fun following him after he made that announcement because I messaged you about this and it felt like he had done more in a week and a half than Hasbro had done all year or like in years.
Yeah, that's the kind of like it's such an easy thing to make that checklist, that retro checklist, and it wasn't getting done. It was just like so corporate-y, so like without flair, without liveliness. It's just he comes back and he makes this checklist, and it's just a small thing, but day one, boom, here you go, guys.
Yeah. May have taken him an hour, if that.
Yep.
So yeah, it was fun watching that happen. I'm hoping it'll mean good things for the line once we get are we going to announce the other part?
Yeah, well, yeah. So the global marketing manager for the Star Wars line, Patrick Schneider, has been moved over to Nerf. So now he's on Nerf.
You know what that means?
What? He's a
More
Nerfer?
repacks and repaints for Nerf.
Yes, yes. Carbonized Nerf. Um, I saw people like, oh, now all the angry fanboys are gonna are gonna laugh and joy. Like, I'm not happy. I'm glad he didn't lose his job. I'm glad he's still employed at Hasbro. I'm not looking for anyone to lose their job, but he was in charge. I know this with good authority that he was in charge. A lot of the bad decisions made was because of him. He was pushing out creativity and
Right.
um I know that with authority too. Uh, like the carbonized stuff, the holographic stuff, these are all of his brainchild, and I'm looking forward to the future of the Star Wars line. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. Steve Evans, what he did right away. Now he's in charge. The only issue is that it's going to be about 18 months before we see any changes that Steve makes because things are already in the pipeline. It takes
That's
18 months to make a figure.
Yeah, that's the part that's gonna stink is he's gonna have to find a way to get everybody excited about Star Wars with crappy products for the next 18 months.
Yeah, we've got that. I feel like with this live stream, I think this is the stage that we're going to see for the rest of the year. I'm not very excited. I think we're going to get a lot of what we saw with this live stream. I think retro collection is going to be where we need to target and appreciate because it's newer figures. It's got that vintage feel. It's cheaper to produce. It's not as expensive as the vintage collection. I think they're able to do more with retro than they can with the vintage collection. Same thing with Black Series. So I think retro collection's the place to be. That's the place to get excited for in 2024. I don't think Black Series and vintage collection are going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they do the retro collection right, which is figures that people have been wanting, versus versus the figures for the new stuff, which the way it judges is we're not going to have that much new content
Right.
within the next year. So maybe they'll be forced to go back and do some of the figures that we've been wanting for and asking for in the vintage line. I mean, heck, how many times have people have been wanting a sand trooper, throw a pauldron on a stormtrooper and dirty him up, and there you go. You got a brand new figure that people have been
Boom.
wanting. I mean, why
Boom.
haven't they? I mean, that's the thing that, and I don't, we've hearkened on it and I've hearkened on it. There's smart repaints and then there's dumb repaints, and they've been doing dumb repaints versus a smart repaint. And I don't understand what the problem is, but hopefully, I'm excited for the line. I'm excited to see where this is going because it already seems like it's in the right direction.
So the rumor is that the Mando movie will come out May 2026 and the Rey movie will come out May 2026. So we've got another year and a half. Wait, 2 years, right? No,
Why
year and a half.
Okay, so they're gonna do 2 movies in 1 year again?
2 years. Yeah, that's the rumor right now.
That's what ruins Solo. Why would they do that again?
So it may be I don't know. It might be 2 years before we actually get a reinvigoration into the Star Wars brand. It seems
Yeah.
like it's kind of slow and low right now.
Sorry, dude, you just totally ruined me. It really irks me hearing that news.
Yeah.
Because they tried it they tried it a couple of years ago and it didn't work.
I don't like that they're doing twice in a year, but I also
Yeah.
don't like that they're doing not sequential movies, not chronological. So Mando will take place post Return of the Jedi, pre The Force Awakens, and
Mhm.
then Rey is post Rise of Skywalker, 15 years further out.
Right.
So people might go to Mando and then they might think Rey's the sequel to Mando.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do some explaining on some of this stuff. There's but uh, oh my God. Sorry. Now and then my mind is racing because you don't want to, as much as you kind of want it to be Marvel, you don't want to have to watch 200 hours of content to get it.
I saw someone make I saw someone make a comment about the Black Series battle droid pack. It's got a
Yeah.
super battle droid and it's got a regular battle droid. That regular battle droid has C-3PO's head. It's that moment where C-3PO gets mixed up as a battle droid.
Uh-huh.
That could have been an easy troop builder if they included an extra head. People could have army built that. They would have bought 3 or 4 of them. Instead, if they were to buy 3 or 4 of them, they would get 3 or 4 bodies without a head for that battle droid if they took that head off.
Yeah.
That's just a bad choice. Like, I'm hoping Steve Evans will see that kind of stuff and say, no, add the head. I know it's extra, but in the long run, more people will buy it because it's a troop builder.
Right. It cost them another dollar, 50 cents maybe to
Right.
add a head in there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I know it would make sense. I agree with that because, I mean, look at what they did with the the Hoth Trooper and the Endor Trooper in the Black
Yeah.
Series.
Yeah.
They added a couple of accessories and you can change the face, and those are really nice troop builders. So people are buying bunches of them.
So, yeah. So, going to the live stream, they started the live stream saying that they'll be more focused in 2024 through fan channels, which means some of this stuff you won't be able to find at brick and mortar like Walmart and Target here in the US. Figures will be added to the fan channels. In the US, it's Hasbro Pulse, GameStop, Entertainment Earth, and Big Bad Toy Store. Which is it's telling because how many times have we picked up items from clearance at Target because they're not selling through?
Right.
So, I mean, that just goes to show that Target's like, no more of that. We don't want to lose money. And I'm sure that Target's just looking for people to come into the store. They're not looking to sell that stuff out. It's more like, yeah, let's just spend the money to get that figure so people will come in, and then while they're here, they'll get their eggs, milk, and chips and laundry detergent. Maybe they'll pick up a shirt. That's their mentality there, I think.
Right.
Yakface made a bingo game of like what they're gonna. It's very pessimistic. Things that people would do, what's said, what's going to be announced. Everything is iconic. You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of iconic, a lot of details. Look at the details. So hopefully they'll start to iron that out with Steve, and they'll be more normal, less robotic. The first
Yeah.
thing announced was a Phase 1 clone trooper from Attack of the Clones. I wrote this line down. Great way to continue building the line for the prequels, which is marketing speak. There's been 5 figures released for Attack of the Clones in the Black Series line. 3 of them are clones. So when you talk about building the line for the prequels, can we do something a little bit more than clones, please?
Yes, please.
The Destroyer droid is coming to the Black Series. No reuse from previous figures. They said that too. But it was a cool figure. I really liked it. I'm completely out of Black Series. I'm not going to be going to buy any more in the future unless it really speaks to me, and it's a Cantina figure.
Yeah. I vote with your wallet.
I think this is evidence that they don't have a lot to announce in 2024. I think 2024 again is going to be pretty bleak because the Black Series Thrawn from Ahsoka was announced, but it's not going to be available until spring 2025.
That kind of irked me. Why would you announce it if it's a year and a half out?
Because I don't think they have anything else to announce.
Okay.
That's just my reading between the lines there.
Right. And it was computer generated. They had no hard copies to
Computer
show.
generated, and then you're going to pre-order it for a year and a couple months out.
Nope. I was already pissed off that I had to order to Sabine and Chopper, and it's not going to get here till October.
So the Vintage Collection Rex on a Bad Batch card. We still don't have any other Bad Batches other than Hunter and the Vintage Collection, but Rex gets 2 releases. We get the Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot repack. Everyone was making a big deal about the fact that they removed the warning label and they moved it to the bottom of the card back because it used to be over the Hildebrandt logo. And people are like applauding, "Yay, look what we did. We campaigned to Hasbro and we got this done." I'm like, guys, do you see what figure it's on? It's the 3rd time this figure is being released. And Dark Jason ascends.
Well, they're kind of like, look, it's the Goodyear blimp.
TVC Axe Woves. This was a Target exclusive, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It's a new card back, which I appreciate. I
But
appreciate that.
Well, people were pissed because the card back and the figure, the figure and the picture and the figure are 2 different things.
Yeah.
It's like, really, you're going to get pissed off about that?
Yeah.
Because it was a season 3 figure or season 2 figure, but a season 3 picture or something. And
Yeah, I can't get into that level of weeds. I just want something new. I don't want to. That's a reason for me to get it. I like, okay, new card back, new paint scheme, new mask. Like with that Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot, that's basically the same thing.
Right.
And there's no reason for me to get that again. But if they put a different image on the card back, I'd probably consider it.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're like, man, we need Jason to buy another figure. Let's put a new card.
We need to kill Dark Jason. Put on a new what do they call it? Film out.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian Fleet Commander's coming, so they're really using that Mandalorian body. Speaking of the Mandalorian with the soft cape is coming. That's the one that was included in the N1 Starfighter.
Everything. I'm sorry, we did not need any more Mandalorian or Grogu figures.
Well, the other figure that they announced was a Grogu figure. Grogu.
Well, it feels like, ooh, Mandalorian got a splash of dirt on his uniform. Let's make a figure out of this.
Yeah.
And it's like you guys could have invested that money elsewhere. That whole, I watched it and it felt like they were rehashing stuff that they announced weeks ago or months ago.
Yep.
And I didn't think that's what those live feeds were for.
And I just want to ask the rhetorical question. Boba Fett, they tout that Boba Fett is a premium these days because of the tooling and the assembly. He's got so many parts. Yet Axe Woes and the Fleet Commander are both Mandalorian bodies, and they're just a basic figure. So it's like, what's different about Axe Woes and the Fleet Commander, but Boba Fett is this premium $26 figure?
It's the Boba tax.
It's the Boba tax, but they don't say that. They say it's the extra assembling and tooling, and it's got more pieces and parts. So it's no more different than Axe Woves and the Fleet Commander.
Yeah, that's one thing that really bothers me is when you have, like a watch brand. It was really bad with Nixon watches. You'd have one watch that was normal, and then the Star Wars one was like $20, $30 more. And it's like, all it is a paint scheme, guys.
Yeah.
But because it's Star Wars, we'll pay the extra money.
Yeah. And then they showed off the Sabine and Chopper card back with the mural. The pre-order for this will close February 14th, so make sure you get that. It's open to everyone, including those that didn't back the Ghost. The shocker there was the $25 per figure price tag. It's almost like Hasbro's like, if you want that, you're gonna have to pay up for it.
Right.
It's blackmail almost.
But they gave you 2 Lothcats with Chopper, and as awesome as the Lothcats are, it's like you're gonna charge me that much money for 2 Lothcats on a repaint Chopper.
Yeah.
I knew Chopper was going to be a repaint. If you weren't expecting a repaint on Chopper, have you been watching Hasbro the last 2 years? But yeah, I thought it was going to, didn't you announce, or I thought somebody had said it would be about $50 a while
It
back.
is 50. Oh, I don't remember that. It is $50 though.
But then it's $60. Maybe I should have just bought the damn Hasbro Pulse extra $50 thing so I'd save on shipping when I bought the Ghost, because it was, it ended up being like $60 after shipping for those 2 figures.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why they couldn't have just thrown it into the Ghost, but unless they just knew, Patrick was like, we'll get them for another $60. Look at this. And then that'll be another, however many, they sold, how many units did they sell of the Ghost?
I don't remember.
Was it under 20,000 or something? Or was it more?
I think it was about 22.
Well, let's say 20,000. So what's 20,000 times 50?
Don't ask me to do math. I'm a graphic designer.
It's another, hold on. I can do math because I have a calculator on my phone. So 20,000.
I've got more power in my hand than they did on the Apollo capsules.
It's another $1 million for Hasbro at 25. If they sell 20,000 units at $50 a piece. So way to go, Patrick. I don't know who else to blame. He's not in charge anymore, so we can blame him for everything.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame anymore. We're just moving on with that whole thing.
Okay, fine.
I don't want to be.
People in the cars are like, yes, Dark Jason's coming out and he's got Glenn going. And then
I don't want to be lumped in with the angry fanboys. Like, my opinion's more fact based than I'm passionate and I'm angry.
Right. No, I get you, dude. No, no, I mean, we're angry, but we're also happy right now because it seems like hopefully things will be going the right way.
Let's see. They did some pipelines. They pipelined episode 2 and 3 retro collection figures. So again, I'm excited about that. That's where the newness is. That's where we're seeing things for the first time. They're new sculpts, new coolness.
And I dig the retro line as long as they do it right. As long as they pick the right figures.
I do too. The vintage collection.
Okay. Did we talk about why they're doing them in five or six packs? Did we have this conversation on here, or was that over chat?
I don't remember.
Okay. We were just like, because now or it might have been one of the chats we're in that they, because when they're doing those retro lines, they make them, you have to buy all 6 figures when they do a retro collection
Yeah.
release, which it's probably a way to eliminate peg warmers, but it also
Yep.
sucks when you only want one of them.
Yep.
So
Yep. I don't have anything to say. I'm sure that's part of the reason why.
yeah, freaking they try to get our money anyway.
The vintage collection droids repack, not repack. It probably is repack, but it is a vintage collection droids pack of some kind. It is an Amazon exclusive. There's another HK 87 droid coming out. He's coming with a different repack. He's a repack and he's a repaint. The Dark Trooper was an deluxe figure originally. It came with the little closet. I don't know what else to call it that he hides in.
Yeah.
He recharges in because he needs to remain cool at all times. But this is coming on a single card back. Ahsoka the White is coming. Mandalorian. Is this Black Series? Bo-Katan. No, I think this is TVC still. Yeah, it's still TVC. So a TVC Mando and a TVC Bo-Katan. And then Cobb Vanth Deluxe with Boba Fett's armor. He's coming. And then for the Black Series, they've got IG-12 with Grogu.
That may be a cool figure.
No.
If you could pull Grogu out of that figure, it might be cool, but I bet you're not going to be able to pull Grogu out of it.
They also got one of those Babu Frick characters.
Hey, bad baby, bad baby.
And it's coming in with that figure?
Yeah. Mandalorian Night Owl is going to be a Walmart exclusive. A Jedi Survivor 3-pack. It's an Amazon exclusive. It's just droids from that game. Single release of the Super Battle Droid, and then Black Series Moff Gideon helmet from season 3 of The Mandalorian. It's a full play helmet.
Okay.
That's coming.
Is it going to be out in like October next year?
They didn't say. They just said they're pipelining it.
Oh.
I don't understand how we don't have a TVC Farm Boy Luke in the line. We're 315 figures into this line. We don't have a Farm Boy Luke. We don't have a Ben Kenobi. Princess Leia is finally coming, but we have 2 Rexes. We have a Yak Face, but we don't have Ben Kenobi. Old man Ben.
All they would have to do is go back to some of the original sculpts, wouldn't they? I mean, not like because then they already do one.
Yeah, they did the vintage collection, and that was the precursor for the vintage the Saga collection, original trilogy collection. They kind of reissued them. It was the precursor to the vintage collection.
Right. So they already have the sculpts done. Just they'd have to go back into the archives and freshen them up.
If they have them.
Oh.
There's rumors that they don't have things from like a certain period in the late aughts. I think that's the right term.
They destroyed them or lost them or just
I don't know what the story is. I just see that rumor online constantly, because we got a new speeder bike. They couldn't go back to the other speeder bike because they don't have that stuff. It's lost. At least that's what I read online.
Interesting.
And again, I don't like rumors, and there's one for you. Like I said, Mando movie is rumored to be a May 2026 release. It's also rumored to be the end of the Mandalorian story. So we might get season 4 and then the movie. So season 4 might be 2025.
So is it the end of Din Djarin's journey or the end of the Mandalorian story? You don't know? Okay.
I don't know. But that's, I think, more of like, there won't be a Mando season 5 after that. There won't be a Mandalorian sequel. I think, Filoni's Ahsoka movie will pick up after that.
I think that's the way we're going to see things from now on.
Yeah. There's a rumor that the Rey movie was put on hold while we were, on our little vacation there. And my inkling is that whenever I see something kind of negative towards that Rey movie, it's just the internet trolls, the angry internet people that just want to destroy the movie before it comes out because it's got a woman in charge. But anyways,
yeah, we're not going to get into that again.
We're not going to get into that. But Jeff Schneider responded to the rumor on Twitter and said, my comment is, trust me when it comes to Star Wars. And that's about it. So if he's saying that, I'm assuming, if he's being honest, he's got a connection at Lucasfilm. And he said, "See you in December 2026."
All right. I I enjoyed those movies. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm going to keep an open mind and I'll go see it because I think we should.
Yeah. Um, would you want a what if cartoon for Star Wars?
Yes.
Sorry, I turned off my video for something for no reason. um, for some reason. There's a rumor that that's in the process of being made, so I don't know if that's a thing or not. We'll see.
Dude, I would love that. That would, oh man, that'd be awesome to see. Like
I would
Darth
love some.
Vader. Huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like if Darth Vader didn't go to the bad side or Luke was able to rescue him and stuff. And if Disney didn't destroy the EU.
I guess I don't want things of no consequence in the Star Wars universe.
But imagine, I haven't even, oh, dude, they did. I haven't even seen the second version of What If yet. That's out. Yeah, right. I
Yes,
haven't even,
that's out. I think I only have 2 episodes left to watch. We stopped in the middle.
see, I keep forgetting about that stuff. Maybe I need to get that TV app that my wife has that keeps track of everything. Well, because we've been doing For All Mankind on Apple, we've been burning through that.
Hmm.
That space stuff because I love space stuff.
Hmm.
So it's kind of fun. That's a fun show. But
Uh,
all right.
the only other thing that I had to mention while we were breaking, McFarlane released a gold line of DC figures. They're essentially Black Series scale. I think they're slightly bigger. They might be 7 or 8 inches.
Mm,
There's no accessories or build-a-figure included, but the price was $40. Normally, these are like you could pick these up at Target for $25.
mhm.
They're saying that the cost of production and tooling is the reason for the increase, but it's essentially the same DC figures that you buy at Target, but at an inflated price. And it's got a lot of people like vote with their wallet, don't buy these. We can't let the toy companies, we can't let Hasbro see this and think it's okay. We can raise prices to $40 and everyone will buy it.
Right.
So it's just something to see or to consider that the ceiling has been pushed a little bit for prices and these companies might suddenly think, oh wait, we can charge $35 for a Black Series figure now.
You want to see the line die? Charge $40 for a figure with no accessories, no extra heads, no extra hands. You want, yeah, that would people would disappear. That would be the death of the line, in my opinion. I mean, I'm willing to pay $40 for a figure, but it better have at least two. It better have an alternate head, and it better have an extra set of hands, at least minimum.
I thought $20 would be too much for the vintage collection, and they had those Walmart Target exclusives that were $22 each.
Is that the one that's with nothing extra, right?
That was the comic book art ones.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was we had an extra deco on it, but still, yeah. And I think I got those on sale.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I'd have to go dig through my Boba Fett's to see which ones I got, but I think I found those on sale for $10.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't going to pay 20. Well, I might. That would be the death of the line if they did that. I think $28 for the Sabine figure is ridiculous, but it's Sabine, I mean, that's my girl. I'd buy it if it was there. I'd be really pissed off, but you'd pay just about anything for that figure. Somebody like me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the news I got.
Yeah. Oh,
Pretty
I
much.
do. You want to end on a little bit of a happy note?
Well, yeah, because I was going to end it on a downer, but go ahead.
Oh, well, what else did you have? And then I'll say what I
No,
have to
what
say.
do you? Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead. Do your thing.
okay. Are you sure? You done, Jordan?
Yeah.
You think Jordan will be okay? We're not talking over each other.
Yeah, I'm sure Jordan will be fine.
Okay. So we had our grandkids a couple of weekends ago, for an overnight. And I'm talking to my grandson and we're talking Star Wars and he's been doing a lot of reading. He's a reader. And he kept going, Princess Lena. And I'm like, who's he talking about? and he's talking about R2 and he's doing all this stuff. And I gave him this book to read. It was like a 5-minute story, Star Wars. And he gets to Princess. He goes, "This is Lena," and it's Princess Leia. I was like, "Dude, that's Leia." And I was like, but he's like reading along with it, and he gets to Count Dooku, and he goes to Count Doko, and I'm like, dude, for an 8-year-old, even though he pronounced it wrong, it was like right there. It was like one pronunciation, one vowel off. I was like, that's really impressive. So that was a proud grandpa moment while we're talking Star Wars. And another moment, we were talking time travel. And then I mentioned Back to the Future, and he's like, I want to watch that. And then I couldn't find it on streaming.
Oh no. I have
Yeah.
it if you want to borrow it.
I've got it somewhere, but I hope I didn't give it away. I had it on DVD, but maybe that's a reason to buy it. But we watched Bill and Ted because it's on Max. So
Yeah.
And then he was like, dude, is this the one with the guitars? And they go over this thing that there's a bunch of guitars. And I'm like, yeah. And he starts talking about Bill and Ted 3. I was like, I didn't know I showed you Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah, you didn't make a comment? I sent you that note that Alex Winter was talking. They were starting to write Bill and Ted 4.
Oh, dude, I had like 5 people send me that.
Oh, all right. Well, that's why you ignored it.
Or maybe I was in the middle of other things, but everybody's like Bill and Ted 4, but people are like, well, just because they're writing it doesn't mean they're going to make it happen. I'm like, okay, as long as it's good. But they're also, how many times have they counted that they're doing a Back to the Future 4?
And that's never going to happen.
No.
Let me just tell you right now, not going to happen.
Now, would you go see the Back to the Future musical?
I'd rather watch the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie's perfect.
Yeah, it is.
In my estimation. It's just a perfect movie. You can't remake it. It's not going to be, it's going to be inferior. You're not going to add anything. What are you going to make the DeLorean like sleek black, stealth black? No, it's the DeLorean. You can't change that car. It's iconic. Sorry to say that after making fun of Hasbro for saying it, but this is essentially the real iconic thing.
Well, you see that car, no matter what you see it, no matter where it's Back to the Future. It doesn't matter if it's a plain DeLorean. It's like, that's Back to the Future.
Yeah, no, I don't. They're going to update it with like the Cybertruck or maybe the new version of the DeLorean that they've got coming out. No, it's perfect. You got Michael J. Fox, you've got Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, it's Tom Wilson. It's perfect. Don't remake it.
Amen. We had a rough week in the club, and we lost one of our members, Jack. He was sorry. It's tough to talk about, right, Jason?
Yeah,
because it's been like the last 2 years we've known about this. His dad Daniel is a big member of the club, and found out about 2 years ago he started battling cancer, and he passed away a couple of days ago. And I'm kind of thankful I was driving the car when I found out about it, because I don't know how I'd react. And now we're sitting here talking about it, and it's tough.
yeah.
It's
never easy. It's never easy to lose someone that young with so much life ahead of them. All we can say is that we're going to dedicate this episode in memory of Jack.
Yeah.
Get your prostate checked. Hug the loved ones around you. Call them. Call your mom.
Yeah, definitely. Just realize that we're only here for a brief moment. So, enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. So this is the way.
This is the way.